We are so fucked.
Connery, why would you say we're fucked if you listen? I assume that's what you're trying to say. Scotty, I'm just giving the listeners and the viewers a heads up. I just want to make sure they know if they're consuming this, they will be fucked. Connery, that makes no sense. Does it, Scotty? Does it? Mentally, they're fucked. Okay, whatever. You're a dick. You're a dick. Guys, despite what Connery says, we got a great show coming your way. Can't wait to get into it. The Wienie 500 is back. Ha ha! Scotty, I can't wait for all the dick jokes to come from all the commentators. It's going to be exciting. Plus, I heard there's a bunch of wieners driving down the roadway. I'm sure your mother's going to be there. Connery, stop. I had to, Scotty. It just felt right. It did, I am sure. Browns head coach Todd Monken gives an update on Shedeur Sanders. And what does that QB battle look like in Cleveland? We'll dive into that. Aaron Rodgers is back, and he's also talking about retirement. Finally, fuck, man, you're old enough. You could get the AARP card, and you're still playing football? Not a good idea. Spurs Thunder series is destined to be fantastic. Too bad SGA is flopping not only on the court during the game, but he's also flopping after the game. And he could be causing some problems in the locker room by doing so. And coming up next, the Colorado Avalanche fell to the Knights in Game 1. Jared Bednar fills us in on what happened. Guys, make sure you're interacting with the show. Subscribe to it. Enable all the notifications. That way, anytime a new episode comes out, you're going to be notified. And if you can, leave a nice review. And if you're able, like whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, leave a comment, and then I'll respond as necessary. But I think what we need to do right now, let's have some fun. Let's jump into that sports section.
Going deep, tight ends and long balls.
He starts to come, and then he pulls out.
Oh, gross!
It's sports with the Huff.
Well, like I said, the Colorado Avalanche fell to the Golden Knights in Game 1. I was trying to go and do the, back in the day when I did sports updates at 104.3 The Fan, how I would do, like, the Golden Knights slay the Avalanche. And that's all I could come up with. And I was like, you know what? Chat GPT, help a brother out. How? Is it Chat GPT? I don't know, whatever. You're a moron, Scotty. I know that one for a fact. Connery, not your time. Not your time. But duly noted. So I was like, hey, help me come up with some cliche sportscaster type of wording so we can talk about this. This is what they came up with. The Avalanche got buried. Oh, the irony. Golden Knights strike gold. Vegas rolled the dice and won. Knights weather the storm. An avalanche isn't a storm. So you fucked up. AI, you fucked up. Colorado left out in the cold. Oh. Vegas survives the avalanche. That's a good one. The Strip owns the night. That one's kind of dumb. Vegas turned the Avalanche into a $10 hoe. Connery, goddammit. I'm sorry, Scotty. How did you know it was me? Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's right. But they did. It's true. $10 hoe? What were you thinking? A $2 hoe? No. That's not a thing anymore, Scotty. Inflation. Geez, get with the times. Gas is up and so is prostitution rates. Vagina costs, okay? Okay. Anyway. The Knights cash in. Avalanche melt under pressure. That's a pretty good one. Avalanche chilly performance causes their nuts to get itty-bitty against the Knights. Cowboy? Holy shit, Scott. You Nostradamus. How'd you know it was me? Because AI's not going to talk about little bitty nuts, okay? They got filters on that shit. Well, it's true, though. The Avs, they weren't all balls against the Vegas Knights. And if they want to win Game 2, hell, win the series, they got to be all balls. I agree. I can't disagree. Vegas dealt the final hand. Okay. Still a series, though. best of 7. They're not done. Oh, who fucking wrote this one? Am I supposed to read this one like in an accent? Okay, let's see if I can do this. It's supposed to be Cockney. Cockney. Oi. Oi. What a proper frozen turd for the Avalanche, mate. They were all in, thinking they were kings of the ice. Think Golden Knights smacked them right in the gullet. Absolute bottle job it was. 1 minute, Colorado's buzzing about Stanley's Cup. Next minute, they're chasing shadows while Vegas is staking up circles around them like it's a public rink down in Croydon. Defense, shaky as a dodgy kebab shop after midnight. My Cockney accent needs some work. Oi, what's all the rubbish about? I probably need to make it a little bit harder to understand. And that's a good Cockney accent. Like, shaky as a dodgy kebab shop after midnight. Because everybody knows kebab shops after midnight. They're shady. They are. Cockney to Huff. Maybe we put them on the shelf. Can the Avs find the hunger? Can they figure out the sense of urgency? Well, here's Jared Bednar to fill us in.
Yeah, like I think it's mental. I think you just got to find the hunger earlier in the game, right? We all know the importance of these games and every game, and especially next game now with it being our second home game and down 1. So it shouldn't be hard to sort of drive the urgency. And there's a few things that are sort of building blocks of our team and our team identity that I think we can do more consistently to help us like earlier in the game, and that's what we'll look at. There'll be significant differences between the third period and especially parts of the second.
Yes, I like what he's saying, but the problem is we've noticed it all playoffs. The Avs tend to play 1/3-ish of their games. You can't do that. As you progress in the playoffs, the opponents are getting tougher and tougher. You swept the Kings. You had a gentleman's sweep of the Wild. Wild fought tooth and nail. You cannot give the Golden Knights an inch. You can't, because they're going to take you to Pound Town. Scotty, now you're the one being inappropriate. An inch? Pound Town? Come on now. Shut up. But the thing is, they need to come out hyper aggressive. That's sports, guys. Doesn't matter if you're playing hockey, football, baseball. Doesn't matter. You come out hot. You have to. You go out. You punch them in the throat. Get them dazed and confused. And you deflate their confidence early. It's like in baseball. Yes. I'm going to compare our Little League team to the Colorado Avalanche, but it makes sense. It's a great comparison. You start off, you put a fast runner that can make contact at in the number 1 slot, okay, of your batting order. Then you get a solid hitter after that, maybe somebody fairly quick as well, and then you get power guys that can drive in some runs at 3 and 4. They don't necessarily have to get on base. They just need to be able to advance some runners. That way you can, in theory, strike first. Strike fast, no mercy. You have to strike first because that deflates opponents. And whether you realize it or not, that's the thing. You want to score early. It sounds simple, and it sounds like, well, no shit, Duff. Yeah, but they're not fucking doing it. The other teams are winning in the first period, second period, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we're just going to turn up the gas in the third period. That shouldn't be the thing. That shouldn't be the way you go. You have to strike first. Look at Super Bowl 48 when the Broncos got creamed by the Seahawks. There's a lot of factors in that. One, John Fox didn't prepare them for the crowd that followed from Seattle, right, down to over to New York, right? And it was insanely loud. And then they quickly punched the Broncos in the face. And then it was a free-for-all after that. The Broncos' confidence was ruined quickly. That's what the Avs have to do. You go out there, you punch them in the face, and you don't stop. You can't give them an inch. You have a very explosive team. Get explosive early. I shouldn't have to tell you that. And you get hungry for it. Be pissed off that you lost game one. Find that sense of urgency. That urgency starts at the opening puck drop. That's you. Vegas will take this series. They'll be more than happy. You got to take it back from them because they're winning. They just beat you at home to start the series. Now you need to say, fuck that shit. We're taking this series back. But it's more than just saying it. You got to go out there and fucking do it. And one of the big things, obviously, going quote unquote against the Avalanche was Cale Makar was out due to injury, despite having all that time off from the last game to now. He was at morning skate, but he just wasn't able to go out onto the ice and play against the Knights. So, yes, they're missing him, but that's no excuse. Here's Bednar talking about the fact that they're missing Cale Makar.
I mean, he's an important player, right? And he plays a lot. And some of the areas that we struggled with tonight, like those are his strengths, right? So it affects. He's out there a lot with the McKinnon line. There's definitely, a trickle down effect to that. But he's not playing, so you have to find a way. I think the guys that we had playing tonight, not just the D, but we're capable more and capable of better, and it just wasn't there for us tonight, and we've got to make sure it is for game 2.
Yeah, that D was it's not as good as it should be. Now, technically, I mean, the score is a little bit lopsided because it was an empty netter right at the end. Either way, Avs lost. No matter how you want to look at it, they lost. And they need to, no excuses, go out there, start the engine early, hammer down the gas, and just go guns a-blazing. Okay, there's a lot of different cliches in there. You can mix them up, use them as you please. Okay, doesn't matter. The point is, Avs, pull your head out of your ass and fucking play like Colorado Avalanche. I expect more from you. You expect more from you. The entire fan base expects more from you. We're not worried because we know you can do it. But let's go ahead and turn up the heat from the get-go. Okay? That's what needs to happen. Go out there and kick the Vegas Knights in their golden codpiece and drop them to their knees. Okay? Let's do it. Thank you so much. Spurs Thunder Game 2 recap. Well, it was close. It was back and forth. Game 1, Spurs won, which is great. But Game 2, final score, OKC wins 122-113. Series tied at 1. This probably will go 7 games. And I don't know who's going to win this one. I really want the Spurs to win. I've never been so excited for the Spurs to play. I think they can beat the Thunder in a 7-game series. But there's a lot that has to happen. I mean, they got to be firing on all cylinders. They got to just the big thing with the Thunder is their I was going to say gritty play, but it's not gritty. It's trashy play. They're really good ball players on the Thunder. But the problem is when they get frustrated, they get really catty, right? They're pulling hair last night. Did you see that? That's a bitch move. No call. SGA, obviously, he's flopping all over the place. He does it a lot, especially in the first quarter. Like, he's flopping everywhere. It's fucking crazy. He takes a shot. Like, he shoots the ball, then it looks like he got shot. Like, it's wicked. It's weird. And then he's laying on the floor like, and he does the damsel in distress flop. That, seriously, watch him flop. Tell me he's not looking like a distressed princess that got shoved to the ground and like, oh my God, no, no, you're not going to take over the castle. Like, that's SGA. It's really bizarre. He's a great basketball player. He just taints it by flopping around over everything. But if the Spurs can work around the catty, the over-aggressive, crossing the line, prison rules basketball that OKC likes to put out on the court. If they can figure that out and be hyper aggressive, let Wemby be unleashed again like he was in game 1, Spurs got this one. They do. But it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. SGA flops on the court. We were just talking about that. During the game, all over the place. It's fucking bizarre. But we heard him and saw him flop after the game when he was talking to an NBC reporter.
You all made a pivot defensively, hard on Wemby. What kind of impact did Isaiah have tonight?
I'm not sure if it was good, to be honest. Yeah.
Break that down for me.
Say again?
Break that down for me. Why was his impact not good?
It was all right. It was good. I didn't really hear her. And then once I realized what she said, I gave her the right answer. Yeah, at first I heard it wrong what she said.
Ooh, somebody's lying. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Fucking lying. You got caught. You got caught being honest. Part of me is just like, okay, SGA, no worries. You were in a moment where she asked you about somebody, and you're like, wasn't that good? And you're like, fuck. She's not a coach asking for honest feedback about a teammate. Wait, what did you say? I'm sorry. Pardon? What did you say? There's I don't know if you've ever had those moments where someone of authority asks you an honest opinion about something and you give it and you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. And then you act like, I'm sorry, what? Oh, I misunderstood the question. Yeah. I think what happened was he had a moment where he was just being honest, says it, and then he's just like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. And then he just backtracks, and then he acts like, I that's not what, no. What? What would have been great is, what did you think she said? What did you think she asked you? Because I would like to know what that answer is attached to. But again, media doesn't do that. What the fuck did you mean, SGA? Huh? Flip-flop it all over the place. Okay? Christ almighty. Aaron Rodgers is going to retire after the season with the Steelers unless he flip-flops like fucking SGA, which he better not. So during the press conference yesterday, this is what Rodgers, obviously the big thing with the press conference was, why did you know you wanted to come back? He's like, I love Coach McCarthy, all that stuff. You know, he's excited to be back for the continuity. Like I was saying, it makes more sense for him to stay with the Steelers than try to restart with another team. He talked to his imaginary wife about it, and she apparently, through AI, I'm guessing, said, "You should stay with the Steelers. Then you can make more money and upgrade my hard drive." Right? Okay? That's what I imagine happened. So that was the majority of the press conference. Then second to last question, this is what gets asked, and this is how Aaron responds.
Aaron, do you believe that this could be your last year? Or do you even think of that right now?
Yes.
As in your last year?
This is it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is it. Ooh, please let me know. Right? This is a goodbye tour for Aaron Rodgers, assuming he doesn't try to come back. I can't imagine he tries to come back. Expect the Steelers to be a problem. I know a lot of people don't want to say that. The Steelers are going to be a problem for the AFC because not only is Aaron Rodgers trying to hoist that trophy once more, all his teammates want him to hoist it one more time as he goes into retirement with Hall of Fame on the horizon. They want to be a part of that. And let's be honest, Aaron has the intelligence. He's still a good quarterback physically. I mean, those Depend diapers aren't slowing him down. No, he's still going. And he's regular because of Metamucil. Thank you, Aaron Rodgers. But the point is, they're going to be a problem because they got an extra motivation sitting on their shoulders. And that's win this one for Aaron. He's right there, and he wants to go out a winner. He wants to go out guns a-blazing. The Steelers are going to be a problem. And that's good for the NFL. It's going to get a lot of hype. Imagine the craziness if Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers make it to the Super Bowl. Oh, it's going to be a madhouse. That's the storyline. All eyes on Rodgers. Win this for Aaron, right? Don't act like what I'm saying is preposterous. I wouldn't doubt it. If and here's what's funny, is as much as I say that, I don't think it's going to happen, but that's going to be their motivation. And I'm fine if I'm wrong, but I'd rather see the Broncos in there representing the AFC in the Super Bowl than Pittsburgh. But if I were to have a second place, entry, it's going to be the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. Win it for Aaron. You can disagree. I don't fucking care. I mean, you're wrong. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, ticket prices for the Ravens-Steelers game in Week 18 went from $254 to $309 after Aaron Rodgers announced that this will be his final season. So that jumped up right around, if my math is correct, and everybody knows I'm incredible at math, that jumped up 22%.
You were incredible at math.
I know, I just said it. I would do it if Week 12, the Broncos play the Steelers, but it's at Pittsburgh. If I could financially justify flying out there, driving out there, got tickets, that would be cool to see. Why not? Last time that Aaron Rodgers played the Denver Broncos, unless it's in the playoffs, I'm just saying. I mean, that would be neat. So expect those prices to continue to increase, by the way. Right now, they're up 22%. They're going to go up more, especially if the Ravens and the Steelers are playing great. Fucking Aaron. Aaron better not be like Brett Favre and shit and just be like, you know what? Let's go back. Let's run it back. Let's go again. You got to know when to walk away, buddy. Got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. To quote the great Kelly Rodgers. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Browns head coach Todd Monken talked about Shedeur Sanders to the media yesterday.
His progressions, getting the ball out, his understanding of concepts. I think he's really come a long way.
Okay, so he says that. That's great. I just, as much as I want Shedeur Sanders to do well, since he went to the University of Colorado for two years, up in the rafters now. As much as I want him to succeed for that reason, I don't see him beating out Deshaun Watson. Deshaun, for all his troubles, is over appreciation of massages, and he's still a good football player. Is he a top 5? No. Is he top 10? Probably not. But he's probably better than Shedeur. Unless Shedeur takes a massive jump forward, I just don't see him beating out Deshaun. Deshaun obviously didn't compete for the job last year because he was injured. And when Shedeur got the starter position, it was late in the season, and he beat out Dylan Gabriel. So I just don't see it happening. But I want, just like the Aaron Rodgers thing, I'm fine if I'm wrong with it. I'm fine. Good luck to Shedeur. But, that's Deshaun's to lose. It is. Wienie 500 is back. I know you're excited. Scotty, you know who's excited? Who, Connery? Your mother, because she likes Wiener. Connery, that's inappropriate. She's a lovely woman, and now you're just tainting her aura with your nastiness. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. It was a joke. Let's talk about somebody else's mother. How about Mike Evans? He's not here. Mike Evans' mother likes the Wienie 500. Okay, that's not fair. He's not even here to defend his mom's honor. Okay, he's not. Not cool. Not cool. Anyway, the Wienie 500. If you don't know what the Wienie 500 is, it's a thing they do now where once a year, I think it's for the Daytona 500. Prior to that, they do a race with all the Wienermobiles. They go top out at 65 miles an hour or something like that. They go around the track. Takes them forever because they go so slow in comparison. And then what's funny is this is broadcast on Fox. It's 12 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow, May 22nd. And the entire time, the commentators, they're all trying to make each other laugh with inappropriate sexual innuendos like this.
The last thing anybody needs through there is a slippery wiener.
I mean, that's just facts. That can work in so many ways. You don't need a slippery wiener, especially going through certain areas. Scotty, I beg to differ. It's very difficult when you have a dry wiener and you're trying to go through something. Connery, stop. You're trying too hard. We'll play the audio next week after the race. I'll grab it. You're going to grab the wiener audio, Scotty. You're just let's just trim that down. You want to grab the wiener? Hey, I don't judge you, Scotty. Connery, stop it. Stop it. We'll grab the audio. We'll play it. We'll see how many sexual innuendo jokes that we can pull from it. Now you're talking about pulling wiener, Scotty. Connery, stop. Enough. Done. Donezo. Hit the showers. It's fun. It's what I enjoyed watching it. It was funny. I'm sure somebody gets offended. I would imagine there'd be a lot of complaints from old people. Like I was tuning in to see some news. And then all of a sudden, all I hear is people saying genitalia jokes. And then there's a bunch of wieners on the television driving around.
It's Karen White.
Bitch, shut your mouth. Let the wieners drive. Let them drive. I like it. I think it's fun. Why not? We take things way too serious. Speaking of that, let's do this. Let's go ahead and jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
Well, Paul wrote in response to the other day when I was talking about that umpire that we were joking that I kind of want to do it still, is after the season, get him a steel medieval times, like a knight armor codpiece, because he keeps getting hit in the nuts. The last one was terrible. I mean, boom, right on the knob. right on it. I was going to say noggin. I don't know if that's appropriate either. He wears a cup, but it's not doing well. If all of a sudden, like, he's behind the plate and you hear ding, you know that we got him the codpiece and he's wearing it. But I was joking, saying we should get him a steel codpiece, and then should we engrave it? What should the inscription be? And Paul wrote, the codpiece should say, "Home to your mother," and then dash Connery. Connery, do you approve of that? No, yeah, actually, I would. That would be funny. I think that would be too inappropriate. Too inappropriate. On YouTube, Lil Green Men 365 said, "No balls shall pass." I like that one. That would be hilarious. Here's your cod piece because you keep getting hit in the nuts, sir. And then he looks inside and it says, "No balls shall pass." Then a tear drips down his face. That would be fantastic. You should actually, Scotty, I do like the "Home to Your Mother" one. Okay? No, you don't. Stop. Well, you don't need to go back to that. You just don't want me to talk about banging your mother anymore. Where's the Scotty I fell in love with? Stop it. You were never in love with me, were you, Scotty? I've been in love with you since the day I met. Okay, stop it. God, Jesus, got weird. Got weird. Speaking of weird, Team Pato on Spotify was talking about SGA getting the MVP. And then I was asking, like, how do you say flopper in Spanish? I still forgot to look that up. But he says, you know what kind of fish that is? Because we're talking about SGA being a type of fish. He said, it's a Canadian flopper. He said, that's my inappropriate dad joke of the day. Not sure. And then he responds to the fact that I got blindsided by Brad, the other listener who wrote in, and I forgot to proofread his message. And it's Brad saying something about SGA's wife being involved. It was just fucking weird, Brad. Funny, but weird. And he said, not sure family needed to be brought into it, but your reaction made me laugh so much. You should read more listener comments without knowing how they're gonna land. Like, that's a dangerous game, my friend. Dangerous game. I don't know if I want to play that game. It will end badly. That's for fucking sure. For very sure. Let's see. Carl wrote. Oh, Carl's responding to how the other day he asked me about, or he said something about the Vikings haven't had as much stability as the Denver Broncos. And then I educated him, okay? Let's be honest. Educated him. I sat him down, put him on my knee. I said, "Come here, little fella. Let me tell you something about the Broncos. Their quarterback situation is a shit." It was until they got, nicks and whatnot. But what was funny is Carl then he also sent me another message that broke down all the quarterback insecurities basically per team, and the Broncos and Vikings rated the same, near the bottom. The Browns have the worst stability at quarterback, which we all knew. But I want to say the Broncos and Vikings were tied at, like, say, 28th or something like that. Worst. And this is what Carl wrote. Said, fine, your misery as a Bronco fan is just as bad with lack of QB stability. My purple glasses are jaded lenses with my Vikings being scared to go to the Super Bowl. They get to the NFC Championship and are like, nope, we can't go to those. We've already lost 4. Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. It sucks when you have a really good team and then they just shit themselves right at the end. That's what the Colorado Avalanche, Carl and everybody, that's what they need to be looking out for. Okay, you can't be satisfied. Your hunger is not, been I should have said your thirst has not been quenched. Not until you're hoisting that cup. So Avalanche, get your shits together. That's what Carl said. Carl said that he's going to go down there and whoop your ass. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Okay? You guys need his contact info, Avs? Let me know. No, that happens. There's a lot of great teams that they just shit themselves right at the end. But that's the difference, is a championship mentality is going to get you over those humps of laziness, those moments of complacency. It's going to get you over those and find that higher gear and go, no, enough. And the Colorado Avalanche have the leaders on that team, not just as their coaches, but on the ice. So expect the Avalanche, Carl, you're just leading me into that. Expect the Avalanche to come out guns a-blazing and take game 2. And then how about a gentleman's sweep again? That's the Avs either win in 5 or 6 is the way I'm going to look at this. As long as they pull their head out of their ass and beat the living shit out of the Knights starting early. Puck drops, there you go. That's just the way it has to happen. You cannot, this far into the playoffs, you cannot let off the gas. It's silliness. You can't. These are professional athletes. They want the victory. You have to want it more. Pretty fucking simple. I say that to the little leaguer talk again. They like, we're winning, or yeah, what was it? Yeah, there was one time I was like, we were winning and the other team's up to bat and I'm talking to him. I was like, yeah, we're winning right now. That's awesome. Be proud of that. But guess what? They want to win too. So you have to go out there and play solid defense and make sure that they don't take this victory away from you. You got it, coach. Okay? Do it then. There's always, don't celebrate too early. You don't want to be those dickheads that are running for the finish line and you're like, I won, look at me, everybody. And then some dude comes right behind you in blindsides you by, cutting the ribbon with their chest. So that's sports, man. You got to be locked in, start to finish. And the Avs, they haven't been from start. They've been near the finish, but that's not, you got to have a quick start. You have to. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining the show. If you could, please interact with the show. I love it when you can. Thank you so much to Carl, Team Pato, Paul, Lil Green Men 365, and I think that's it for today. So if you guys want to be like them, go ahead, interact on the show, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, and you can also do Spotify, or you can hit me up on socials at DeHuff Podcast or DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the show. Let's keep moving forward. I'll talk to you next time.